Single whip. We're going to be looking at single whip today as part of our Beginner Tai Chi series of videos. This one we're focusing on, as I said, single whip. It occurs twice in the Yang style 24 form. And it occurs before and after wave hands like clouds. And also it occurs just before pat the high horse. And also it occurs just after grasp the small bird's tail. So we'll put this all in sequence when we get into doing it. So single whip is done only on one side, although it occurs twice, but it's once at one point and then once later on in the series. In both cases, we're doing it in the same direction. Hi, I'm Jack Godfrey, and this is Southdale Wellness. I produce videos on one on beginner Qigong and another one on beginner Tai Chi, which is today's video. And so I try my best to produce these once a week. So today is beginner Tai Chi. I also provide a Zoom class on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. If you're interested in that, put a comment below or send an email to jack.godfrey49@gmail.com. So let's look at a single whip. So as I said a few minutes ago, single whip occurs twice in the series, and it's somewhat, well, it's a mixture of a static movement and a dynamic movement. So we're going to look at it in particular. We're going to look at single whip itself right now, and then we're going to put it into the context of the series. So to start with, you want to be in the stacking of the bone stance. So let's get our feet set up for this. So we're here. This knee's bent, this leg's straight, and we have the shoulder, the ribs, the hip, the ankle, all in a pile. So with this knee bent, we have a stack of bones over here, and this foot's pointing more or less straight ahead. And then we come over here, and we have the stack of bones here as well. So the shoulder, the ribs, the hip, the ankle, and the knee. The knee's bent, this leg is straight, and we have a stack of bones here as well. And the whole idea with this particular stance is I can't go any further this way, so I end up with a stack of bones. So this is the beginning position of the legs. Now, with all good Tai Chi movements, there's a bit of a story that goes along with this. At least it's a story I've made up, but I've also heard many stories from other people as well. So to start with, we're over here, the weight's on this leg. This hand, the opposite side, comes over like this, and it's holding a nest in the palm of the hand. So your hand is slightly cupped here. And the torso is turned because I'm bringing this one here, and I'm looking a bit this way, off to the side. So I've got this palm here. I'm holding a bird's nest. So this is the story. And in my other hand, I'm going to steal an egg from the nest. And so what happens here is you bring the fingers and thumbs together around the egg in the nest. You don't want to crush that egg, so you leave space in between your palm and the fingers. So you grab this egg, you lift it up, and you flex the wrist. And this hand pushes forward a little bit. So let's have a look at all that and a little bit closer here. So we'll come on up here. So we're here with stacking the bone stance going on. The palm is here. So, and it's slightly cupped. It's a nest. And I'm holding an egg. I have an egg in the nest. This other hand comes up, and fingers and thumbs spread. You reach into the nest, and you grab the egg, and you stretch the wrist. So it looks like this. And now what you're going to do is you're going to push with this wrist forward. But let's have a look at what's going on with the fingers. So we just did this. We had all the fingers spread, and we bring all the fingertips and the thumbs together. The thumb. There's only one thumb on each hand. So you do this. And so here we are. So the fingers are spread. The fingers and the thumb come together. And this is called a crane's beak. So all the fingertips and the thumbs are all in a cluster. So this makes a nice hard surface for knocking on things. So it's better than having the hands spread. So you bring the fingers and the thumbs together. And the way I do this is the fingers surround the tip of the thumb. So it looks like this. We'll come just a little bit closer and we can see there's the fingers. And there we go, looking straight on. So this is called a crane's beak, where you bring the fingers and the thumb together, and there's a space in here for holding that egg that you just grabbed out of the nest. So once again, we come here, and the torso twists slightly, and we have a nest. We have our hand is slightly cupped. You grab an egg from the nest, you create that crane's beak, you come up, you stretch the wrist, so you can push forward like this. The other thing we've talked about in the past is this joint is open, which means the wrist is further away from you than the elbow. So you want to have this arm slightly open. So we grab the egg from the nest and we push with the wrist just a little bit. So that's getting that bit of the story set up. So we're here in stacking of the bone stance. This hand comes up, and so it sweeps, figuratively, it sweeps along the floor, and my hips turn, my torso turns, and I'm looking off in this direction here. I have the nest. I grab an egg from the nest with that crane's beak. I flex the wrist, and I push away slightly. This joint is open, and then what happens is we dot, and this arm stays still, but we turn and we look in the opposite direction. The nest comes over here and we turn the hand. Now that we're pushing the nest away, and we take a step at the same time as we push into the distance. So all the weight's on this leg now as we push, and we're looking beyond the hand into the distance. So let's have a look at that again. So we're here in stacking the bones. We just did, for example, single whip occurs before and after wave hands like clouds. So we just finished wave hands. So we're doing this, and here we are, the last wave hands like clouds, and the feet are more or less parallel. So we come up here. This hand comes this way, which causes the torso to turn, the hips to turn, all the weights in this leg. So here's the nest. The other hand comes up. We grab the egg from the nest. We dot. We turn, and we step out to the side at the same time as we push with the hand, and we look into the distance. And this is single whip. You'll see this wrist is beyond the elbow as well. So we're here like so, we're here like so. This knee is bent, but it stays over the ankle. Now, that's looking at single whip in detail. To practice it, I'll set you up with a routine that you can do to get familiar with all the little bits. We're here, we're here. We come over here, we hold the ball. We come back over here, we have the nest. We grab the ball. We grab the egg from the nest in that crane's beak, and we push into the distance. We come back over here. We hold the ball. We come down here. We come on up. And we grab the egg from the nest. So you'll notice in this particular exercise that we're doing, the feet aren't moving. We're shifting our weight from side to side, but we're not fussing with the feet. What we're focusing on is what's going on with the arms. So let's look at it a couple more times. So let's start over here for a difference this time. So the weight's in this leg. This hand comes over here. and we hold the nest. And the nest is about shoulder height, a little bit lower. This hand grabs an egg from the nest. We flex the wrist, we push the wrist away, the joint is open. And now we come across, you follow the hand with your vision, with your gaze, as we push into the distance. Now all the weight's on this leg. And we're here like so. So this is single whip. Now to move on to doing it on the other side, we come over here, we hold the ball. We come down here, we hold the ball in the center, weights equal on either leg. We come up over here. We grab an egg from the nest and we push into the distance. And then we come back here. Let go of the egg, hold the ball. Come back to the center. We come up. There's the nest. Grab the egg, stretch the wrist, push with the elbow, with the wrist, sorry, as we move off into the distance. And we'll do once more on each side. So we're here, we come to the center, we shift our weight, the hips turn, the torso turns, we grab the egg, push with the wrist, push with the hand, look in the direction that the wrist, the hand is pushing. Then we come back here, we grab the egg, we grab the nest, we hold the ball. We come back over here, here's the nest. Steal an egg from the nest, stretch the wrist, and we push like so. So that's single whip. Now we're going to put it in context of the segment that it appears in the Yang style 24 form of Tai Chi. So we just finished, ward off, roll back, press, clear, pull down, push up, wave to the crowd, look in the mirror, and here comes single whip. So we have our nest, we grab the egg, we dot, we turn, and we push into the distance. And now we move from here into wave hands like clouds. But what happens is this hand sweeps down, turns the foot as it goes by. We get rid of the egg. And now not single whip, we're moving on to wave hands like clouds. So we come here. This hand closes it up. We come here. And as we start down, we step out. We close. And now we do the last one here. We step out. We close up. And now we come here for single whip. Now you dot with this leg here. We grab the egg, stretch the wrist, push forward a little bit, turn, take a step, and press into the distance. Now after this single whip, we have pat the high horse. So for that, you let go of the egg. So this hand opens up. We take a half step. Turn this hand palm up. The other hand comes up by the ear. And we pat the high horse. So that's single whip. It appears in two places. And we just went through the segment of the Yang style of 24 form where it appears in twice. But we do it both times going the same way. So it's single whip traveling that way as opposed to going the opposite way. So it's single whip where you make steal the egg from the nest with my right arm, and we do the press with my left arm. Other forms, other styles, you'll end up doing them on both sides. So that's it for today. Thank you for showing up. Single whip.